USWDGC went down this past weekend. And
the United States Women's Disc Golf Championship.
Yes, USWDGC.
Thank you for letting me know. I was not sure.
First major of the year. Big Money Missy is changing her name to Big Major Missy.
Oh.
Because Missy Gannon took it down.
Oh,
Major
okay,
Gannon?
Hunt.
Yeah.
I should say Jim Nance.
We'll call her the better Gannon.
I think she should. I think she should get just an iced out chain that says Big Money or Big Money Missy. Like, how does she not have just a huge chain with that on it?
I don't know, man.
That would be sick. Somebody step up to the plate.
Yeah, someone make that for her.
Bob, Julio.
They do need they should just run a Crystal Thrasher, because I think that's what she.
They could honestly stamp just
Crystal,
the chain on there.
That's what I'm saying. Crystal Thrasher with an iced out chain says Big Money Missy. Just
That'd be
all,
sick.
All gold
intellectual
stamp,
property.
All gold stamp with silver in the middle.
I don't think that's how that works.
You guys know how much money we've made off of that?
Zero.
So many companies are always like, "Can we please have it?" Like,
no,
yeah,
it's
for
not about how much
$200.
money we make off of it. It's about how much money other people can't make off of it.
That's right.
true.
Yeah.
That's right. You don't make money. You
A penny
take
saved
money.
is a penny earned. Evelina Solonen came in second, and Val Mandujano came in third. Notice a name missing there. Kristen Tatar was present at this event.
Kristen
played it
was
all
missing.
through.
I don't believe you.
But Big Money Missy does it again, take down her first ever major victory, and earned herself $12,000. So the nickname still fits.
That's a good day.
Because there's a lot of money on the line, and Missy showed up. It's a big moment in her career overall, obviously. She was able to take down her first major by 5 strokes. And realistically, it was just a consistent weekend for her out there. If you look at her stat line, there wasn't one thing that was like, I think she led the field in scramble rate, but there wasn't one thing that was like, oh, that's what it was. Like, no one could catch her because of this, which scrambling was definitely important out there.
I think she was second in strokes gained.
Yeah,
putting.
she was just solid. Like, across the board, she was in contention on all the stats, basically, which is kind of what you just got to do to win.
You got to do it.
Because realistically, she just picked apart a course that picked apart the rest of the field, basically, when it was all said and done.
Yeah, that course it was out there with a vengeance.
Yeah, I don't feel like this is it's a huge storyline for her career, but I don't think anyone's shocked that she has a major title now.
No.
Like, she's a player that I think this has been something where it's been coming for a while. I think she's won Throw Pink Women's, if I'm not mistaken, or am I just thinking of, because she went Throw Pink Women's and then Disc Golf Champions. So, like, it already feels like she had won a major to a certain extent. She's won 2 tour championships, which also have a big feel to them. So, like, she's performed big in big moments many a time.
Yeah.
And she just did it again, but this time at a major. So now she is a one-time major champion.
It's pretty funny when, you've won Throw Pink and you've won the 2, like, realistically, tour championship. There are some guys out there that are playing for prestige. A lot of them are. But, like, ultimately, that tournament is probably the one you're feeling. It's tough not to feel pretty good coming home from that one.
Yeah, like
because
30
of the amount
Gs.
of money you're winning. So it is pretty funny, like you said, like, she has won a lot of the high pressure tournaments. This one is just, it's good to have that title. And you know what, she's getting older. Like, I mean, I'm sure she'll be able to play for a long while still, but it's good to get that over with. Like, okay, I've got the major under my belt.
Yeah.
Anytime you're further into your career, you just don't want to have that fear of, like, ending as a player that never got the major championship. You know, that's a lot of players. That is a reality for them. Less in disc golf, more in golf. You see that a lot, like, really good players that just never won a major. Disc golf, though, as the field gets more competitive, we're going to start seeing, like, 10 years from now, there'll be guys that are getting towards the retirement age that were really solid but just never got the major, you know? And that just happens as the field deepens and gets stronger.
Yeah. Now, Evelina also is another storyline out there. She's had a solid start to her year so far with the win at chess.com and everything. She put herself right in the mix, but in the end, it ended up kind of being the same story, which was her putting that cost her the tournament. Final round, she had a few rough missed putts, we'll call it. But she made some good ones. It's definitely just a mental block, obviously, out there. But yeah, her putting cost her the tournament. She lost 8 strokes to Missy on the putting green this weekend, according to the strokes gained putting stat, and she lost by 5. That'll do it. She did lead the field, I believe, in the whatchamacallit, strokes gained tee to green stat. She led the field all weekend in that. Like, she's the modern day Katrina Allen.
Yeah.
Where she's just a phenomenal thrower of the disc. She's going to be in contention. And on weekends where her putts fire in on all cylinders,
she's
going to be tough to
Kat,
beat.
though.
Yeah.
Because Kat was a good enough
but
putter.
But is she a better thrower?
Probably. I mean, she definitely throws further, and she has a much better sidearm.
Yeah.
I would say that, Kat, even back then, like, her putt, because nowadays, Kat nowadays has been struggling, but When like the last couple seasons where Kat was playing pretty well, her putt had gotten actually better. But even in those days where it wasn't great, it was still serviceable. And she wasn't. Also, she didn't have a putt where she spun it a ton, so she wasn't like missing way past the basket. Because like that's legitimately a factor. Like some of the FPO players like Henna and Evelina that struggle, and I understand like it's not just a problem solver to just create a nose down putt that doesn't go past the basket, but like if I got to the end of a tournament and I started counting my 3 putts and I'm like, I can 2 putt, I just can't be 3 putting anymore, I would just start throwing the most floaty nose down putts you've ever seen. Keep that thing near.
Just do the Ricky putt where you go like, well, what did he always say?
Under the fence, over
under
the fence.
the first fence post, or like over the second, under the third.
That had me. That would be a funny
That one
topic. Just like disc golf clinic quotes or like pieces of advice you heard that you tried to attempt as a child and probably hurt you.
Well, some of us didn't play disc golf as children.
I was barely a child, but it. Yeah.
I heard that when I was like a sophomore in college, and I was like, how do I even like that? Doesn't make sense. I still don't understand what he was saying. Like I get it. I get the idea, but I never was able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just basically like
throw a hard putt
low
so
and then
nose down,
pop high, so that then I don't know, he does it better than anybody else.
He
Those
does.
putts are glorious.
Gosh dang, he's good.
We should go get whenever we go to his Airbnb, we should go get a clinic. We should have him leave like some notes, like you know how they leave Airbnb notes.
Leave us putting tips
He should leave putting tips notes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar. I just played. I've played my first Foundation tag match of the year. Finally made it to one.
Wow.
Good for you.
And
Hunt.
I was playing with.
Did you walk away with that one?
Well, I walked away with the best one that was out there, which was
Did
4.
you walk
I think.
away with that good? You won?
I won. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
good.
But the 2 guys I was playing with, I won't out them, but they had very fast spinny putts, and that was their downfall.
I will out them.
Was like they
Why
would,
won't you out them? You're making me uncomfortable.
because I'm just talking about their putt having a flaw. I didn't want to like.
Let's hear
That's
it.
fine.
Out them then.
Why?
Because
Out
it's
'em,
more
Hunter.
respectful to out
Yeah,
them
it's
than
more
because they
respectful,
know
yeah.
who they are.
Yeah.
If they're listening, yeah,
But
but
nobody-
they'd probably rather me not be like,
Or just
yeah,
'cause
they
No,
had-
because
they
nobody
showed on
else
the putting
nobody
green.
else knows who they are. Is what I'm saying. Like so, like you're only doing this. To
I
them
don't
right now.
understand why I'm protecting them
From who?
No, dude.
themselves.
They're foundation employees. Don't get protection.
Okay, anyways, they had a very spinny fast putt, so like if they missed a putt, they had like a 25-foot comebacker. And I was like, y'all haven't been playing this game long enough to learn.
They're not scared enough.
Yeah, you all haven't played this
I
game
get
long
it.
enough to learn. You take spin and speed
You
off
gotta
that
play.
putt.
You got to play this game the coward's way.
So when
Disc
you
golf
miss,
is all
you got a
about
5-footer.
Yeah, disc golf is all about learning in your old age of disc golf how to avoid having to
Looking
work harder
stupid.
and missing again.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be just going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Like if you miss a putt, you better just have a 5-foot tap in. Like just tap your in and get off the hole.
yeah, man, hit that thing right into the pole.
Yeah, you can just throw lock breakers.
Do you guys remember in the Incredibles movie? Bear with me.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Whenever
This is why this show's called Grip Locked, right here.
I
Go
believe
ahead.
it was at the end of the movie, whenever Dash is like he's like running track.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
they're
But
like,
he
go, go, go.
He
No,
obviously
slow
is
down.
like a superhero, so
Yeah.
like he can run fast. Yeah, so he was like having to slow down so he didn't look like too much. I think that's what's happening with Kristen right now.
Parents are like, no, second place. And he's like,
Yeah.
look, I love that.
I think it's what's happening with Kristen right now.
Yeah.
I think that she is possibly.
so.
I think that she is possibly someone who is just too like she might be AI that was created for FPO disc golf, and then now she's realizing people are starting to catch on that I'm not human,
that's a
and so
theory.
she had to like bring it back a little bit. I think
Okay.
she went a little too far back this week, but I think that's what's happening.
okay.
Interesting take there.
That is a
She
big-
did. Kristen Starr did lose her first major since Champions Cup of 2022.
It's been a long time. That is a
She
wild
didn't play
stat.
European Open in 2022.
Yeah.
But she won Worlds 2022 and then all of them of 2023.
That's wild.
And then, lost this weekend. She did. So she had some neck and back pain at the end of Open at Austin, according to her Instagram. And then she was dealing with similar, like some fatigue, neck, back pain. And then she had a swollen ankle on the final day out here. But ended up losing by 10 strokes. 10 strokes when it was all said and done across
Dang, it
4
sounds like
rounds.
she was kind of going through it.
Yeah.
There was a long list of injury complaints, and I'm not going to say they're unwarranted. I'm just saying there was one.
Yeah.
Dang.
A big storyline this weekend, obviously other than Kristen losing and Missy winning, was there was just some names on here that just shocked me with their underperformance in relation to like names that had they been in the top 3, I'd be like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now be careful.
Or like at least
be
top
I'll
5.
say be careful which names you're about to read.
Well, no, I'm just going to read. I'm just going to go down the list, and I'm just going to say players and then how far they finished outside the lead.
Okay.
Because like this speaks both to Missy's good performance and I think how tough the course was. And some of them must have given up. Let's just call it what it is.
Let's call it what it is.
First off, Ella Hansen, 12 strokes, lost by 12 strokes.
Okay.
That's not that bad. Holland Handley lost by 14.
Oh, okay.
Hannah Blomers lost by 15.
Okay.
Let me go down a little. Kat Murch lost by 23. If I'm doing math right, yeah. Now Paige Pierce, Katrina Allen, it was a old school, just like we used to see all the time, dogfight for 28th place. They lost by 29 and 30 respectively.
Oh my God.
But there was a third player in that dogfight, a former U.S. women's
A
champ,
third dog.
Haley King, also lost by 30 this weekend.
Crazy. She's injured, man. She's injured.
Holly Finley was in the mix.
Who are all the people that were ahead of them?
Holly Finley was in the mix some last year.
Steen, bro.
Lost by 35. Allie Smith, we were just questioned if she was going to be in the top 10. Someone was asking our opinion on that, and we were like, I don't know, maybe.
No, I said
Could
no.
be close. We all said no, but I was thinking
I said it pretty confidently.
that's a kind of a good line. She lost by 39.
Yeah.
Paige Shue coming back, obviously former world champ, but she's on the up and up. Lost by 42.
I want to know what this course is doing to these.
I don't know what's going on.
What the heck?
Emily Beach last year at D-Glow, I think, was like almost won the thing. She lost by 52.
That's a lot of strokes.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what I'm saying.
lot
It's
of
like
strokes.
it didn't make sense to me because like these women have been in contention. It's not like they just like were a flash in the pan.
52
Like
is a lot.
they've been in
That's
contention.
a
like
lot of strokes.
That's a lot of
consistently.
numbers.
That's a whole round.
Yeah.
A lot of numbers.
Now Kona Montgomery, this is her first event back.
Yeah, that's
from
a really
cancer.
good point, Con. That's a really good point. When you lose by 52, the leader
You
could
just
almost
didn't play
play an
around.
entire another round
Yeah.
and have less total strokes.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Is that right? Am I saying that right?
You're
Am I saying that
close.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
no, this course people
pretty
were shooting
close.
like the hottest round I think was a 58.
Yeah. But like,
That's even closer than I thought.
yeah,
Yeah.
that adds up.
Um.
Just making sure I didn't say anything crazy.
It's close.
That's wild.
It's close enough to note.
Yeah. Kona didn't have the weekend she would have liked out there, but probably that's also probably not the true statement because she played disc golf and she finished a tournament, which is important because, I mean, this was her first tournament back since recovering from
cancer
surgery
diagnosis.
from, I believe it was thyroid cancer,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. So this was her first event back.
That's
so
awesome.
it probably just felt great just to
I'm sure it did.
be out
Yeah.
there playing again. I think, and it also worked out well because since it was U.S. Women's, she was able to have her husband Colton like on her bag all
Yeah,
weekend.
that's cool.
So
See Monty.
we're gonna put a W in the Kona column
Yeah, that
because
sounds
she's
good.
back.
W.
So yeah, but Missy Gannon took it down. Valerie Mandahano, like I said, came in third. Owen Scoggins was out of it early, made her way back into fourth. There was actually some points during that final round where it looked like she might have been in contention, but then she finished 4-7 on 17-18 to bring her back down.
Yeah, that was awesome for my top 3.
Yeah, it was awesome for my top 3. Trevor, if you missed the preview show, Trevor talked me out of having Owen in my top 3, and I put Evelina in.
I talked you out of Own because I wanted to pick Own, but if you would have taken Own, then I was trying to also talk myself into somebody else.
Me, Trevor, and Joe Henderson, who does the preview show with us, all had the exact same top 3 in the exact same order going into the show. So it was like, prediction-wise, no one's gaining points on anyone, no matter what happens.
It became a chess match.
And then Trevor starts like talking about like how Owen's game isn't going to
more
line
like
up
a
with this
checkers
course. And he like, as he was
Thank
talking,
you.
I was sitting there and I was like, he's so right. He's
Dude,
so
I am
right.
the
And so I
man.
pulled Owen out and I put Evelina in, and I put Evelina into second, which she took second. So
you are welcome.
Trevor's
Hunt.
so
thank you,
smart.
Trev.
For those of you that can't see, they're shaking hands.
Do you have more to say about Kristen?
I don't know. I thought we'd talk a little more about it just because I don't know.
I just didn't want to steal the spotlight from Missy by talking about how Kristen underperformed and then talk about that longer than how Missy
Trevor,
performed.
remember I gave my whole Incredibles analogy? I think that pretty much sums it up.
I just want to say a few things.
Okay, go ahead.
Wow, I'm
Floor is
surprised
yours.
you have more
I
to say
wanted
after my
a few
analogy.
things. Because I know a lot of people are probably it's time for them to start asking questions about Kristen Starr, and I just want to say this: this season she started out win, loss. Last season she started out win, loss.
Wow.
She then proceeded to win the next 3 events. So I think when it comes to the FPO season, just the way that field is just so sporadic right now. I mean, literally the way the scores fluctuate week to week is impossible to predict. You have to digest it as a whole. Week to week, you are going to see even a player as good as Kristen do things wildly inconsistent. And MPO players do this too. It's just because there's so less players at the top, we fixate more on them. A guy like a good MPO player, let's say I need a good example, Ezra Aderhold. Or I need somebody who's more consistent at the top. James Proctor's a good example. He could take 35th one week, and it's a lot. We might not notice it as much, even though he's consistently like a top 15 guy. But in FPO, like that's why I say this. It's because they're under a microscope because there's like a handful of players that we're really looking at every week. Mm-hmm. So going week to week, it can be very difficult or very easy to be like, what's going on? Like what's going on? You know, and we do that too because we're a knee-jerk reaction podcast. But I still think that by the end of the season, we're going to look back and be like, yeah, Kristen won 6, 7, 8 times, and same goes as normal. I'm not ready to hit the panic button.
Only difference between last year and this year is one of those two events wasn't major.
It's true, but I don't think it matters. And also, well, it does a little bit, but
majors have 4 rounds.
Yeah. But a bad weekend is a bad weekend. You know, even with 4 rounds, like if you just don't have it. Here's what I have to ask you: is she hurt or is she injured?
I refuse to answer that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give medical advice on the podcast.
I'm going to say hurt.
Before we get to,
she's hurt.
There you go. Trevor's
it doesn't sound like an injury. It sounds like hurt.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. The podcast.
I don't think that's bad though, right?
No.
Better than injured.
Yeah.
No.